Normally, I would take breaks whenever I do reviews, but just like the TV show and the book, I just could not wait. The Stand Part 2, otherwise known as The Dreams. So in this episode, the plague has finally happened. A bunch of people are now dead, and there's a small group of survivors, and now they are having dreams of two people. One is Mother Abigail, the other one is Randall Flag. And in this one, I love the fact that they build on a bunch of characters that were introduced in the first episode, and now they have bigger roles now. Because for one character in particular named Lloyd, in the very first episode, he and his buddy went into a place, they shot a couple people, his buddy died, but he got arrested, and that was the only scene we saw him in the very first episode. And I thought to myself, if that scene right there was the only time we ever see this character and we don't get to see him ever again, I'd be thinking, what is the point? Well, the point is that he's still alive, he's immune, but he's behind bars. He's in a jail cell. He's basically in the worst place possible when an apocalypse like this would happen. So you would either starve to death, or hopefully you have that Andy Dufresne blood in you and dig your way out of this place. And who would he run into other than Randall Flag? And now, this is the first time we actually get to see Randall Flag's face, and he doesn't even look like a monster. As a matter of fact, he looks like a very cool dude. He has the cowboy boots on, a blue jacket, a crazy looking mullet. And he looks like the type of guy that would make jokes, he just looks like a guy you want to hang out at a bar with. However, you immediately know that this dude is bad news. Not just from the imagery from the very first episode, but also he says, I can take these bars off if you want me to, just so long you know that I am holding the key. Basically, I can open up these bars so long as you give your soul to me. That type of stuff. And the way they play it off in the show is absolutely brilliant. You're in a very tough situation and you could possibly die, and here comes this one person that says he can do this thing for you just so long as you give him something that is major. It's the type of stuff that priests and the Bible have been warning you about the devil for the longest time. So you can kind of tell that this Randall Flag character is a worker of the devil. Yeah. And I gotta make this comparison. Randall Flag kind of reminds me of Tim Curry's Pennywise from the original It, because when you see Pennywise for the first time in that show, he doesn't even look that scary. As a matter of fact, he looks like a clown that you would see at a birthday party or even at a circus. He doesn't even look scary. However, you know for a fact that this guy is bad news because whenever these kids get close to Pennywise, that's when the panic sets in, because you know how much danger that they are in. The kids can't see it because all they can see is a clown. But for the audience, we are freaking out because these kids are in danger. That's the same feeling you get whenever Randall Flag is around, and I give props to that for this show of doing that. But also we get to see the continuing story of Stu Redmayne, who now runs into a character named Glenn. Glenn is an old man. He likes the silence. He likes the peacefulness. And Glenn has a dog named Kojak. And Kojak is one of the best characters. I love Kojak. He's a dog. But this is the moment we also get to see these characters start to run into each other. Like, for example, Harold and Franny now met them, and Franny and Harold are split. Harold wants to go to Vermont, where Stu came from, because that's where the control center is. And Franny wants to go to Nebraska. And so basically, all these characters want to go to Nebraska to find Mother Abigail. What I really like about this episode is that for all these characters, they are seeing Mother Abigail as a good dream, something that you want to go to, but they are seeing Randall Flag as a nightmare. But there are some characters that don't see Randall Flag as a nightmare. For example, Larry is still alive. Larry Underwood, the singer from the first episode, he's still alive in New York, and he runs into a woman named Nadine. And Nadine is also having these dreams as well, but she doesn't see Randall Flag as a nightmare. She sees him as a love interest. So you can see the different ideas that people have about these dreams. Even though she's kind of split between Randall Flag and Larry because she kind of has feelings for him, but she is a very committed woman, so she holds on to that path. And now this is when all the characters are starting to head to Nebraska, or they're heading towards Randall Flag. So a whole lot is really going on. And what I also love as well is that it introduces a whole lot more characters. Like, for example, Trash Can Man, a guy who likes to burn things. He likes to blow stuff up. He can hear Randall Flag in his head telling him what to do, and truth be told, this guy is absolutely insane, so no wonder Randall Flag chooses him to be one of his top men. But we're also introduced to another character named Tom Cullen. Tom Cullen runs into Nick. Nick Andros is on a bike. He's going through this town that has a bunch of mannequins and a bunch of decorations, and he runs into Tom Cullen. And immediately you fall in love with Tom Cullen. He is mentally retarded. He cannot read. He cannot do a whole lot of smart things, but you absolutely like the guy. And he's played by the same guy who also plays Patrick Star, so he knows how to play really dumb characters. But in this one, I like him a whole lot more than Patrick Star, because immediately you love the friendship between Nick Andros and Tom Cullen. So once when they're together and they are on bikes heading towards Nebraska, you just want to see their story continue on. And that's the great thing about The Stand, is that The Stand is always in the moment. You're in with the characters. You just want to see each and every one of these characters get to a place of safety. Like I said when I was reading the book, The Stand, I just kept saying to myself, okay, I'm just going to keep on reading to this part. I'm going to take a break. Nope, it just leads on to something else. That's what I was talking about. Like for example, Stu was now in a very safe place, but now we are jumping to Nick and Tom, who have just met each other, and I'm enjoying it, and I just want to continue on to see them get to a good place. And now we get to see a little bit more of Mother Abigail. Mother Abigail is a real person, of course, and she kind of has a little bit of an argument with God. I mean, she is a very religious person, and she knows that all these people are going to come to her place, and if they're not at the place fast enough, she's telling them that they're going to go to Boulder, Colorado. Because, quite honestly, what is in Nebraska other than a bunch of children in a cornfield trying to kill you? Seriously. But there's a scene in particular where she has a little bit of an argument with God. She says, I know it's your will. It's what I'm supposed to do, but I don't really like it. She has that moment of anger, and that's when she runs into Randall Flag, who is sitting in the cornfield. And now you can see the tension between these characters, because Randall Flag is just saying, just walk away, woman. You know how powerful I am, because he has supernatural powers. But she chooses God over him, so Randall Flag can't come near her. And I love moments like that, tensions like that, because you just know that even though that the survivors are going to either side, these two are on a fight for themselves. Mother Abigail is a woman that just wants to live her life, her final days in peace, because she has lived in Nebraska her entire life, and she has not been anywhere else. So when you see them move away from her homestead, you could see the tears in her eyes, the sadness, and you just kind of really feel bad for her, but she knows that this is something that she has to do. I'm getting a little talkative about the characters and what they're doing, basically giving out spoilers here, but that's the great thing about the show, is that you just want to talk about it, continue it, and as soon as this episode wraps up, yep, you're just gonna move straight on to the very next episode, because not everyone is there yet. So the show does the same thing that the book does, is that it looks like it ends at a very good moment. It ends at a perfect spot for the episode, but you just want to continue on because you want to see what happens next. So I will say The Dreams, the second episode, is a fantastic episode. It is a build-up from the very first episode, and I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it just as much. It just made me want to continue on the story. So I will say the second episode is classic. So guys, The Stand Part 2, The Dreams. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? If I missed anything, comment them down below, and I'll see you in the next video.